standing with the one and only Sam Houston, wrestled in WWE and all over the territories.
The one and only, nobody else wants to be me. I love it.
Now, what was your favorite memory in WWE when you were there in the 80s?
Oh gosh, there's so many memories. You know, I mean, it was a blast. We were living a rock and roll lifestyle. A lot of it, I guess, would be the pranks and the ribs that I pulled on some of the guys and stuff. I mean, they're legendary. You can check out the social media stuff on me and find all that out.
Can you share one rib?
Well, I gotta make sure it's a decent one.
Okay.
I won't say the name of the fella's name. Because he'd be upset.
Okay.
You know, prima donnas, right? But anyway, back when I started working, getting out there, and I was working full time and everything. The promoters, I'd be in Richmond, Virginia one night, and then I'd be down in Charleston, South Carolina the next, and back up to Hampton, Virginia, and then back down to Savannah, Georgia. They had me going all over the place. So I started riding with some of the other guys. I'd learned my lesson, earlier, try to, stick to myself a little bit, but I rode with the boys. So I was riding with this one guy, and we were on our way to Hampton, Virginia. And we got just across the Virginia line, and there's a highway, I believe it was Highway 58 or something. And you take a right on 58, it takes you straight into Norfolk. And we'd already eaten at the steakhouse, Western Sizzling and everything, and I was trying to take a little nap. And right after we got across the line, we got on that road, he's like, Sam, he goes, can you help me out some? He said, I'm tired, I'm sleepy. I said, sure, pull over. Well, he pulled over. When he pulled over, I jumped out of the passenger side of the car and ran around the front of the car. I met him by his driver's front tire. And he goes, thanks, Sam. And threw his hands out like that. And I slapped the dog snot out of him and turned around and ran around and jumped back in the car. Now he's outside kicking rocks and cussing and screaming and spitting and wanting to fight. And I ain't moving out of the car. And finally he jerks the car door open and he goes, what'd you do that for? I said, you're not tired anymore, are you?
That's a good one.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at it.
What were some of your favorite towns to wrestle in, or arenas or cities?
Well, I mean, gosh, I gotta be honest with you. I mean, I love going everywhere. Everything is a new, brand new town.
I thought you were going to say Madison Square Garden. But...
Well, that was cool too. I mean, but the La Ranger Coliseum in South Louisiana, even though it was the worst place in the world for wrestling, when you wrestle at the Coliseum in La Ranger, I mean, because I'd gone there every Saturday night with my dad and everything. I mean, that was a big deal to me when I finally stepped in the ring in La Ranger. For so many nights, best barbecue sandwiches and everything. But there's been places all over the country that I love to go back to, and I'm one of those guys. I grew up on the road, so I really don't have a hometown, but I do have familiar parts of the country where I go, and whenever I get there, I feel like I'm home.
Who was your favorite all-time opponent you ever wrestled?
Oh gosh, I couldn't say that. I couldn't give you one because I was blessed with the worker that I was to be able to get in there and work with everybody. Eddie Gilbert, Kurt Hennig, Sting, Crusher Khrushchev, Black Bart, Flair, everybody. Ole Anderson, Flair, Tully Blanchard. Tully Blanchard could run faster backwards, than you could forward. And gosh, he was great. He was great. I was in the ring with the best of the best. That's why maybe that's one of the things that helped me out a lot. But I always listen too. I listen to the old timers on the road. These guys now, I love them to death, and I got great respect for them and everything they're trying to do. But the independent wrestling scene, they're not working every night, so they're not being able to learn, and they don't have the tutelage from the old timers. Like I was blessed. I had guys like Johnny Weaver and Dusty Rhodes. My dad, Teddy. I had these guys riding with me every night. And after my match, they'd be able to sit down and critique me, and then I could try it out the next night. Not 2.5 weeks away. So you lose something there. I really believe the independent circuits are going to be coming back, and I want them all to come in
would be
with
best
gangs.
in business.
It would be. It would be. So any independent promoters or anything out there, hey man, I'm 53 years old, but I'm still in there. I'm still working. They told me the other night in Shelby, North Carolina, the promoter and all the guys came back in the dressing room and
Still
bowed
in great
down.
shape. Look at these.
Yeah. Well, I was working offshore.
They look great.
But
Nice stand,
but
too.
they came in they came in and they bowed to me and I was like what and they said no man, he said you're great, well you're better now than you were 30 years ago. Well, I got to tell you one thing about me. You know, when I came back, I got hurt in '91, but when I was able to get back in the ring in '93, I got complacent and I really didn't try as hard, you know, because I was comfortable with who I was and everything, so I did just enough to get by. It wasn't until my time in prison that I found that thing inside of me that wanted to go that one step further, and that's what I'm doing today. I'll get in there, I'll give you everything I got, you know, everything I do. I'm not going to be the guy that sits there and ever hold
To
back
clear up
again.
any of those, those internet rumors, what did you go to prison for?
DWI, fourth offense, but I never had a third offense. But I was kind of I was told to sign the paper. If not, it would have been the rest of my life. So I served 5 years in prison. I got out 3 years ago. I'm still sober. You know, I mean, I've got over 7 years sobriety behind me now. You know, so I'm working on number 8.
You look like you have an inch of it, just have a little goatee right here.
Well, yeah, I did that because, you know, I fell off a roof, but the driveway broke my fall, and, you know, gave me that scar and that scar, so I had to do something. But, yeah, I'm in there, and I'm giving it everything I got all the time. And I'm going to churches and speaking at churches, substance abuse centers, and everything like that. Any way I can help somebody out, that's how I want to. And I say this a lot, you know, title belts and certificates of completion and trophies and everything else. Those are fine accomplishments, and I'm glad. I've got a lot of them. But that doesn't define the person I am in my heart. That's the guy you got to get to meet.
Right.
You know?
Sam, thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you,
us.
man.
Thank you very much.
Anytime.
Thank you. Sam
Give me a
Houston.
holler, y'all. Have a good one.